So, Sweden's National Forensic Medicine Agency checked the age of nearly 8,000 people and found that something like 6,600 of them were over the age of 18. So, this is like three quarters of the migrants coming into Sweden claiming to be children are not children. And the majority of the people that they were letting in were children at the time. And this was their arguments like, oh, are you afraid? All these guys that are afraid of children. What are you afraid of? Women and children, all this crap. And it's like, wait, something like 70 to 80% of them were men. And now we find out they're all like military age men, right? Coming in to take your country's resources. Like, these are not helpless children. A lot of these guys could have been back home helping their family or fighting Assad or whatever, or fighting whatever government that they're running from to get a better life, right? But instead, they decide to lie about their age, get into a country, and take as much as they possibly can. And not only that, like, a lot of these migrants are actually sleeping with a lot of these like old spinsters and like old feminists that are like, oh, we need to bring the migrants in. Yeah, because essentially the government is paying for you to get laid by a bunch of young migrant men, which is fucking hilarious. Like, if you look in Sweden, there's all these articles out of older women, single women, taking in migrants and then talking about how they sleep with them to make them feel better, and this, and that. And there's some stories where this guy's like, there's one migrant, he's like bitching, he's like, oh, she treats me like a sex machine. This is all I do, sex, sex, sex. You know, I do nothing else. Like, he's complaining about it. So, like, clearly those women were not going to inform anybody about it. And these are actually, like, it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, these are fucking bitches. Like, you're going to waste all the money from your country, bringing in people. Like, it costs a lot of money to bring people in, to teach them your language, and then they're also paying them if they take in migrants into their home. So there's all these costs, and you're just doing it to get laid, a lot of these women too, right? And it's like, it'd be cheaper to get like a male escort yourself, right? I don't think the government should be subsidizing these old spinsters getting laid by these fake minors, right? But this is just hilarious, and a lot of people have been saying this for a long time. We're like, no, these people are not minors. They are fucking adults. Look at them. This guy has a full-grown beard. And a lot of these cases, they found three quarters of them were children, but they only checked, the checks were only carried out in the cases where there were doubts of the person's age, right? So there's probably way more people. It's probably way more than what we actually even think. There's like 80 to 90% of them all lied. Really, you want to bring those types of people into your country? You want to bring liars into your country and expect them to follow the laws? They didn't follow the laws from the very start entering your country. What makes you think they're going to just change all of a sudden? It's not. And a bunch of like statistics came out that were like hacked into from these police stations in Sweden and like Denmark or whatever, and they found like 3/4 of the gang rapes and stuff happen from foreign-born people. And these governments were keeping this stuff hidden away from their public, because obviously if they found stuff out like that, they'd be like, okay, maybe we should stop bringing in all of these fucking Muslim migrants. But obviously, they don't want that, so they keep that hidden from you. And they probably knew about the age of these kids too, but they just chose not to investigate it right away. And it was like after a long time, like years later, now they find out. Like, people could tell from the very minute These people walk in, it's like, that guy's not 14, he's clearly like 36, right? But whatever, it's good that it's finally coming out at least, and even like the BBC is reporting on it and stuff. So that's good, but nonetheless, hopefully, and this also shows how bad the vetting process is. Either they didn't try to vet, or it just shows that it's like very inadequate. It's very, very difficult to vet people. But that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.